You wake up already tired. Not physically, mentally. Your eyes open, and before you even move, your mind is already running. What you should do today, what you didn't do yesterday, what you might mess up again. You lie there for a moment, scrolling, telling yourself you're just waking up, but deep down, you know this feeling. It's that quiet heaviness, that low-level pressure, like something inside you is waiting and getting more impatient every day. You get up, you go through the motions. Same routine, same pace, same safe choices. You talk to people, but you hold back. You have opinions, but you soften them. You have ideas, but you keep them inside. Not because you don't know what to say, but because you're still thinking about how to say it. You replay conversations before they happen. You rehearse responses that never get used. You imagine outcomes that never arrive. And when the moment passes, you tell yourself it's fine. I'll do it next time. I just wasn't ready. It wasn't the right moment. That sentence becomes familiar, too familiar. At first, it feels intelligent, like you're being careful, like you're protecting yourself. But over time, something starts to fade. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. You notice it when you hesitate before sending a message, when you rewrite the same sentence 3 times and still don't hit send.
When you see someone else say exactly what you were thinking and get the respect you secretly wanted, you feel a tightness in your chest. Not jealousy, not anger, regret. The kind that whispers, that could have been you. Your days start to blur together. You stay busy, but nothing really moves forward. You're not failing, you're functioning. And that's what makes it dangerous, because from the outside, you look fine. You're responsible, you're reasonable, you're patient. But inside, you feel stuck, like you're standing at the edge of something and never stepping in. You don't feel incapable, you feel paused. You watch time pass while telling yourself you're preparing, and preparation becomes your hiding place. You prepare instead of risking. You plan instead of committing. You wait instead of choosing. And every time you wait, something subtle happens. Your confidence doesn't collapse, it erodes. A little less trust in yourself, a little more dependence on comfort. You start to doubt your instincts, you question your timing, you second-guess decisions you haven't even made yet. And the world doesn't punish you for this. That's the problem. Life doesn't scream at you when you hesitate. It quietly moves on. Opportunities don't announce their exit. They just stop coming back. People don't tell you they stopped taking you seriously. They just stop asking what you think. And slowly you begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who acts, but as someone who waits. This is where the real damage happens, not in what you miss, but in who you believe you are. You start identifying with delay. I'm the kind of person who needs more time. I just like to think things through. I don't rush decisions. It sounds mature, it sounds logical, but beneath it, there's a habit forming, a mental habit, the habit of choosing comfort over self-trust. Comfort feels safe. Comfort feels calm. Comfort feels justified. Comfort tells you, stay where you are. Nothing bad is happening, but nothing good is happening either. Comfort doesn't challenge you. It doesn't demand clarity. It doesn't force you to show up fully. It numbs the urgency without solving the problem. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to leave. Because comfort slowly rewires you. It teaches your mind that action is dangerous and waiting is wise. It rewards hesitation with temporary relief. You avoid embarrassment, you avoid rejection, you avoid being wrong, but you also avoid growth, you avoid momentum, you avoid becoming someone stronger. And the most seductive part of comfort is that it never feels like fear, it feels reasonable. It disguises itself as patience, as realism, as being not ready yet. And there's one word that comfort loves more than anything: Tomorrow. Tomorrow sounds responsible. Tomorrow sounds planned. Tomorrow sounds hopeful. But tomorrow is not a plan, it's a delay. And delay, repeated long enough, becomes identity. Every time you say tomorrow, you're not just postponing action, you're teaching your mind a lesson. You can't be trusted today. And confidence cannot survive in an environment of self-distrust. Confidence is not loud, it's not arrogance, it's not hype. Confidence is quiet alignment between thought and action. When you think something and you do it, when you feel something and you move, when your words match your behavior, that alignment builds strength. But when your thoughts never leave your head, when your intentions never become actions, that alignment breaks. And the break creates friction, mental friction. You start feeling tired without doing much. You feel stressed without clear reasons. You feel behind even when you're technically on track. Because part of you knows you're holding yourself back. And that awareness is exhausting. You don't need more motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It's emotional. It's unreliable. That was never the issue. The issue is identity. At some point, you stopped seeing yourself as someone who acts and started seeing yourself as someone who waits until conditions are perfect. But perfection never arrives. There will always be more information to gather, more angles to consider, more risks to avoid. If confidence waited for certainty, no one would ever move. But here's the truth that changes everything. Confidence is not the result of action. It's the reward for choosing action before certainty. You don't act because you're confident. You become confident because you act. That's the reversal most people miss. They think confidence is a feeling they're supposed to have first. It's not. It's a byproduct, built slowly, through discomfort, through imperfect moves, through moments where you act without guarantees. And this is where discipline enters, not as punishment, not as restriction, but as freedom. Discipline is not forcing yourself to do things you hate, it's deciding who you are before your emotions decide for you. It's saying, I don't need to feel ready to respect myself. Discipline is self-respect in motion. It's doing the thing because it aligns with who you want to be, not because it feels comfortable. Comfort asks, what feels easiest right now? Discipline asks, what strengthens me long-term? And every time you choose discipline, something subtle shifts. Your mind starts to trust you again, not because you were perfect, but because you showed up. That trust compounds. Small action builds credibility. Credibility builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum. And momentum changes everything. You stop overthinking so much because you're too busy moving. You stop rehearsing life because you're actually living it. You speak with more clarity, not because you found the perfect words, but because you stopped censoring yourself. You don't become fearless, you become grounded. Fear doesn't disappear, it just stops being in charge. And here's the part most people don't talk about. Discipline doesn't make life smaller, it makes it lighter. Because indecision is heavy, carrying unfinished thoughts, unmade choices, unspoken words. That weight drains you. But when you decide, even imperfectly, you release that weight. You feel cleaner, calmer, more present. Not because life got easier, but because you stopped fighting yourself. And the longer you practice this, the more you realize something powerful. You were never lacking confidence. You were leaking it. Through delay, through comfort, through letting later control your life. And the leak stops the moment you stop negotiating with who you know you need to be. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when conditions improve. Now. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly. One decision, one action, one moment of choosing yourself over comfort. And here's the question you can't avoid anymore. If your confidence is built by the choices you make daily, what kind of person are your choices creating right now? And how much longer are you willing to let comfort decide that for you?